In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. Cash, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. This fine day.
It's chilly October.
It is.
October day.
It's getting a lot colder. Thank God for it.
I know.
Cannot wait
I was
to start
just talking
wearing
to some
sweatshirts.
people. They're like, "Man, I fucking hate the rain." And I'm like, "What are you? Why are you living here?
I know.
Why are
it's
you
like
here?"
the one state in the United States that you just don't want to
But
live in.
it's
if
true.
it
When
rains.
it starts raining, people act like it's some big surprise. I can't believe it's fucking raining in October. Yeah, it rains 9 months out of the year here.
Yeah.
So why are you?
It's hard
shocked?
when it doesn't rain.
Yeah. And you can't use an umbrella in Washington. They frown down on you for
They
you.
do. They
think
look at you very ill.
They think you're waterproof or something if you live here and you're not allowed to use it. But yeah, I'm glad it's fall. It's getting chilly,
It is.
and it always gives me the craving for horror films.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I want to watch. I just want to stay in bed all day and watch horror films and be scared shitless.
Yeah, and we're still running with our theme too.
Absolutely.
Last week we
Or
did
really running with a South Korean zombie theme, to be more specific.
Well, they do know how to do it. I mean, we just saw 2 films now, and I thought both of them were real good.
Absolutely.
We saw it live last week, which
Hashtag
we did.
alive.
Hashtag alive, that's right. For our Foreign Film Friday, and then this week we are doing
The big
very,
heavy hitter.
very famous in South Korea, especially Train to Busan.
Train to Busan. We are finally doing it. Yeah, I think it's a big film for anyone. I think if you're like zombies, this film is on your top fucking
Absolutely.
list for sure. But yeah, we're keeping the trend going. So we went from Alive, which we both liked Alive.
Oh, yeah.
But
I was actually surprised with it.
Yeah,
I didn't know if
absolutely.
I was going to like it that much. Because I was kind of, as we always talk about every time we talk about zombie films, kind of a fatigue of it.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
I thought it was good.
But I think watching zombie films from another country has kind of given me a refresher.
Yeah.
Because you feel like when you watch zombie films from America, they're just the same exact zombie films, it seems like, every time. But
Just recycled.
but other countries somehow are able to do a little something different with them. But yeah, it's like people in South Korea took a consensus and were like, this is how we're going to make our zombies. We can't have slow walking zombies. Every South Korean zombie film, the zombies have to be exactly like this. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like a consensus. They
And not only that, but it doesn't always end, happy.
No, rarely does. And that's realistic to me. I mean, I can't imagine a zombie apocalypse situation where some
Everyone's
guy's walking
surviving.
away unscathed and being like, well, that wasn't that bad. But yeah, Train to Busan, I think it is one of the greatest zombie films. I think it's
I'd
up
have to
there.
agree with you on that.
I think it's up there with like Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Shaun of the Dead, all my favorites. This one is just
And what a cool concept for a zombie film, too. I didn't know how initially I was going to like it being on a train.
yeah.
But there's something with trains and Koreans. They know how to do it right. I mean, look at Snowpiercer.
It's because
Snowpiercer
their
was a
trains
great film,
are
too.
like, it's Japanese. They're so damn efficient. I think it's like a thing for South Koreans where like nothing can go wrong on the train.
Right.
So when you have a horror film on a train, they're like, oh my God, if it can happen on a train, it can happen anywhere. Yeah. But for Americans watching it, it's like, yeah, trains fucking suck.
That's what we
If there's going to be any kind of outbreak, it's going to be on public transportation in America.
Yeah.
The bus, the train,
It's
all
all bad
very
scenarios.
dangerous places to live. But in Korea, they're just so efficient and like so safe that I think it's kind of that new thing to really scare the people is throw zombies on there. It's like snakes on a plane for us. I guess people thought planes were really safe, and they're like, let's throw some snakes on there. That would scare the shit out of people.
Just have Samuel L. Jackson drop the
as
motherfucker a few
effective
times. No, it was not.
as Train to Busan.
Not even close.
But it's good having it on a train because it does the same thing that all zombies films makes you feel very isolated
And claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic, and
Like
that's
you
what
can't escape.
we talked about that in Live. What Alive did is they just did a lot of tropey things. They just did it very well. But the Train Busan does, it builds on all those tropes. It does something new.
Yeah, and Alive was more of a sense of hopelessness.
Yeah.
Where this one was like claustrophobic, like, oh my God, if these zombies get to us, we are done. It's over with.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
it was just a little bit different in that aspect.
But yeah, Train to Busan, directed by Yang Sung-ho, who hasn't directed a lot of stuff. We haven't seen him in anything, not even anything that we have reacted to trailer-wise. But
and this was his first live-action feature film, too, because he did a lot of animation before this.
yeah, it's crazy. But he's obviously did a great job. The score is amazing in this.
Yeah,
I forget how good the score is. It's classic, but it's very, very tense, especially when it starts building up whenever you start seeing the zombies. But and the acting.
Mm-hmm.
The acting is so damn good. I love the whole arc of this kind of failed father character. And now the kid has to rely on this dad who's been a shitty dad.
And who never shows up to anything. Doesn't even
Now
go to
you gotta
a
rely
recital.
on this deadbeat dad to save your life. And it's great because the kid is so good and it's such a fantastic actress. She's so good. And she probably has the hardest role. She's shown the most emotion out of all
Out
of
of
them.
anyone by far. Yeah.
But you could tell her just sense of hopelessness as soon as the shit goes wrong. She's trying to like find a new fucking family.
Well, yeah, exactly. She's trying to find a new family.
like, who
and she's
can I
like,
latch
all you
on
care-
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you care about is yourself, dad.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. You know.
But I love that. I love the whole, that's kind of a classic thing for not just zombie films, but any kind of father, daughter, son, or whatever is this shitty dad that now has to take care of. But they do a really, really good job.
They do.
And both actors, the dad and the daughter. What's the dad's name? Because I'm going to bring him up a lot. Oh, Gong Yu is his name. He is fantastic in this.
He is.
But probably my favorite character, and maybe one of my favorite characters of any zombie film
I already
ever,
know.
is the guy that punches.
Sung-Hwa?
Yes.
Yeah. The
There's
tough guy.
one fucking guy who can just fist fight. No, as in any zombie film, have you ever seen a guy knock out a zombie?
Never.
You never.
Never.
No one
I
ever
mean,
goes hands.
Well, think about it. These zombies are falling off helicopters.
And think about it. They could bite the fist. They could.
Yep. Any
Not
sort
this
of
guy.
cut.
He is fucking
invincible.
He is my favorite fucking character of a zombie.
He's got to have leather skin too.
This guy. He's. You're thinking, just send him out. You don't need a cure.
Yeah.
He will fist fight these fucking zombies until safety. Yeah, it's crazy. I loved. And the first time I watched this, I was thinking this guy maybe he's gonna end up being the bad guy at some point.
Yep.
Just because of how much he hated the dad, But I like that dynamic a lot. Him just trying to protect his pregnant wife.
And did you know that before the film, that actor used to be Yo Gong's personal trainer?
What?
Yes. In that
He is huge.
Yeah.
He looks like he might be a fucking power lifter.
Oh, he probably is.
He's
well,
a very.
I know
he's
the
a-
man can clean at least because he picked one of them zombies up. And
Well, one
slammed them up.
he did, I swear, because one he rocks it. Yeah, he does Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That was fucking awesome.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
That's
The
an
choreography
awesome
was-
scene
yeah.
too.
With all
when they have
three
to
of them,
make their way back into the train.
from cart 9 to cart 15.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of carts.
A lot of carts.
A lot of carts
A lot of
together.
zombies.
But yeah, I like that. That guy
That's
was
another
fucking
thing
awesome.
too that like you have to figure out how are these people going to get from 9 to 15. And I thought the way they went about it was really smart.
Oh yeah.
Like with the zombies not being able to see in the dark and then going through the tunnels.
Yeah, and
'Cause
they
it was
kept that theme kind of throughout the entire thing of once you take away their vision, they kind of go like subdued. Like
Exactly.
even when he's getting attacked, when they go to the first station and get off, they're like, "All right, you guys are good. All right, go ahead." And then they find out that whole and fucking the army and everyone is infected. But that when they first get off and the dad's getting attacked by the zombie, and then the guy just throws the coat over his head, and the zombie immediately just kind of goes stupid.
Right. Yep.
That I love how they kept and how concrete, like it wasn't like some zombies did it and some there was very strict rules and guidelines of how these zombies worked. And I love that. But yeah, I love them going from part 9 to 15. It's very fucking tense. And the guy from Parasite, the kid from Parasite is in this. The son. He's the baseball kid.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's, yeah, I'm starting to recognize South Korean actors at this point. But
Choi Woo
Shik, I think,
Shik?
is, yeah, he plays but he's you remember the son from Parasite.
Yep.
This guy, I think he's probably going to look like he's 19 forever.
Ever. Yeah. It's probably like 37 or something.
Because this was, 5 years before, I think, Parasite. And I think he looks younger in Parasite somehow. Like he's de-aging.
That's wild.
That's the thing about fucking Koreans, dude. There's 2 old ladies in this movie, and one old lady somehow simultaneously looks 60 years old and 30 years old.
At the same
Zero
time.
wrinkles, but
Yeah.
gray hair.
Yep.
The whole time I couldn't figure, this lady, is she a young person playing an old person? Is she an old person? It was fucking wild. They don't age.
No, they don't.
Until they get like 90, and then they become like wizard old. And it's like very fucking old. But man, they look fantastic.
They do. They absolutely do.
But yeah, I love it's the same zombies as Alive, although it's not like they can go back and do their old jobs again. That's the one difference. Because you think if they saw like the army zombies and this would be Alive, the zombies would just be gunning them.
Which
be terrifying.
sketchy, yeah.
Now you got an army of the dead, but
literally an army of the dead.
yeah, but yeah, I liked the fast moving zombies a lot, and especially when they get, and it happens so quick. Like this movie starts going 5 minutes in. It does not take any time.
That's the thing with this movie. That's why I think it is, as you said earlier, one of the best zombie films of all time, is because the pacing was phenomenal in this thing.
Yeah.
There's not a minute of downtime. And normally in a zombie film, we always talk about this. We don't need 2 hours. With this one, you needed 2 hours. And that's how long this film was. And it just went by like that.
Yeah,
like,
there
honestly.
is zero. It's from start to finish. It's them running from zombies,
Right.
The entire time. It's like a fury
But
road
it never
of
gets
zombies.
old, and it's never recycled where it's like, okay, they're running again from this, running again from that.
yeah.
It was
It's
different every train stop.
Exactly, and it's a different problem
Every time.
every scene and something. It's never, like you said, just a 2 hour just marathon of them sprinting down the road. But it's always something like you having to get to train 9 to 15, getting off at the station, then having to get back on the fucking train,
and trying to get on a different train.
Yeah, exactly.
You
But
know?
but that my big fear when I first saw it was like, Jesus, how are they going to keep this pacing going? But they do. Even at the very end, man, I love the climax to this film. It is great. But yeah.
I want to bring something up, especially if we have any Indian viewers. You know, this was the first South Korean film to have a wide theatrical release in India in 4 different languages: English, Hindi, Tamil, and Telugu.
Wow.
And it was very widely received in India and attracted like millions of Indians to South Korean cinema.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Introduced it to
if a film, if you're going to get introduced to South Korean film, I feel like this is the one to get you
Absolutely.
introduced to it, because it is.
Because it's fun.
It's so much
easy
fun,
to-
man.
it's
It's
easy
a
to
thrill ride.
watch, you know.
There's no, like you said, there's no lull moment. You know, there's no down. There's literally not a moment to where like they can just like sit and talk at all. It's again, it's always just so tense and them running. I think the only quiet moment that you get is them trapped in the bathroom for like 30 seconds. Remember when they first go and because the big guy, the old fitness guy or whatever, he's got a pregnant wife. Mm-hmm. And it's always that extra level of tense and pressure when you add someone pregnant into a zombie
Well,
film.
and they were always throwing that curveball at us. I thought at any time this lady was going to pop because she kept going the whole,
well, fuck,
with her
dude. You got to
stomach,
think
and
it
I'm
towards
like,
the
oh,
end. She might be at risk of having a stillborn with that kind of pressure she
no
put her
shit,
body
right?
through.
Yeah, that stress.
Because at the end, she's like holding the baby. I'm like, Jesus, dude, it might be bad. It might be real fucking bad. Because that's a lot of running, too. I don't think
is.
pregnant ladies are supposed to do so much
No,
running.
I don't think so. I think it's
I think it's supposed to kind of chill out.
especially that far along.
But I was really, man, I thought this movie could have, my worry was, they're going to kill her at some point. I thought this film
Like
could
rip
be,
out the baby or something.
well, that would be
morbid.
fucking crazy. But, because this film is not overly gory
No,
at
it's
all.
not.
It's almost
It's
like
a lot of like that you
World
get bitten
War Z.
and then you turn.
Yeah, and they're not trying to eat you.
No.
They're just trying to bite
Bite
you.
you. Yeah.
But sometimes the biting does, unfortunately. They bite you in bad spots.
There's a lot of there's some.
So sometimes there
itchy in
will
the
be a little
vein.
spray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someday a director will have the guts to have a zombie that goes directly for the balls and asshole every time, like all animals do in the wild. Because
true.
every time there's zombies, they're rabid, they immediately go animal instinct. Someday, because any animal in the animal kingdom always goes for your balls or your asshole.
It is true.
So
Chimpanzees will rip out your balls.
Lions,
a bear will eat your ass first.
a lion will go straight for the fucking testicles. Any animal. Any fucking animal. So someday someone's going to have to make a zombie because that's a soft spot.
It is a soft spot. Yeah.
That's where
It's
you're
an
going to go.
unfortunate soft spot. And it's something I don't know if I
But people just
need
aren't,
to-
people aren't willing to risk it right now.
No.
You're not.
I mean, imagine watching a zombie film and having some
Just some
poor
guy-
man's nuts ripped off.
Well, not even that, but zombie film where you go into a room and just some guy get eat out ass first.
You're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, like, I don't know if this, he might be enjoying it. I don't know if he's angry at this, but someday, man, because just going for the neck, you got to jump up on someone.
You do.
But no one's protecting the balls.
None.
So I'm just saying, if I'm going to make a zombie film, you want to make it a little fresh, a little something else, have a guy go for the balls once in a while.
Maybe you write the screenplay, you get that produced one day.
I'm telling you, that's the only way you make zombies scarier at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Because now over
Everyone's done it.
over the decades, the thing about zombies started out very slow. You could push them down. The only thing that could happen is that you get overwhelmed. But at this point, now we have to have zombies that are rabid, and not even that. They're like ants, where they can make structures from climbing on each other. I do like that. That's very World War Z, but this came out before. But you get that scene when because when the lady first runs in the train, when the guy's not paying attention, not doing his goddamn job, it
Cost everyone.
It does, and she goes in, but they all turn so fucking quick, and then it's 30 seconds after she goes in, and the entire train car, they're tumbling over each other, like a wave, a literal wave of zombies.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that that they're just I don't know, that they're so mindless that they just fucking trample over each other. But
I thought the effects looked good too, man. I mean, all of them up against a glass wall. The makeup looked good. The blood looked good.
yeah, the actors were great.
Yeah, they were.
Even the CG, there's not a lot of CG, but a really cool scene is when they see a video of how they're talking about how the outbreak started or whatever, and there's zombies hanging onto a helicopter,
and they start falling off.
and they fall fucking hard.
They do. And
Not
they
a
still
lot of
get up.
bounce.
No, not a lot of bounce on those bad boys.
But yeah, I like that scene a lot. I like the opening scene where I knew immediately first watching this scene that this movie was going to be fucking something else, is when the guy hits the zombie deer at the start.
That's right. And then the zombie resurrects
Fucking
itself.
goes crazy. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, this movie's going to be fucking good. I know this movie's going to be good. Because when you got a zombie deer that looks fucking horrifying. That zombie deer, all we know, could have been the fucking...
The start of it all.
Could have been ground
Well,
zero.
we find out that the main character, his company was
he's a hedge
responsible
fund
for it.
manager,
Yeah.
and his company, which I don't know if you needed to do.
Yeah.
Do you
It
need
was
to
an
connect?
added element.
Do you need to connect the main character always that he's personally
He's responsible for it. Yeah.
Which really he wasn't. He was a hedge fund manager. So I mean, he just managed their money. I'm guessing it wasn't that actual. He managed the money of the lab that released this big thing. So I don't know if it was really his fault. But there's a brutal scene with him when he's on the phone with his mom.
Yeah, and she's turning.
She's in the middle of turning. You don't see that very often in a zombie film. You don't get right when it's fucking... And then it's a brutal scene. It's really good acting because you just see the distress in his fucking... in his face. Which is hard to do for a fucking actor when you're not really talking on the phone. It's just some guy off screen yelling, okay, now pretend to cry. So he's got to... But that scene... But then the little girl goes, is Granny okay? And he just kind of fucking shuts down.
He's like, no.
He's like, I got...
It's no longer with us.
I
Kid.
got bad news. Yeah.
Here's-
Shitty dad.
Yeah, very, very shitty dad.
Gave her 2 wheeze. Remember that? The Child's
That
Day?
is how unaware this man is. He,
I mean,
doesn't even
he
know
probably
what she
bought her.
has.
He bought
Yeah,
her
he
the
did.
first Wii.
Yeah.
And
and that's what I was wondering. As soon as she opened it, she looked at it as if like she didn't want it. And he's like, "What? You don't want it?" And then
just
she looks
over.
up.
Yeah.
She's already got one, dummy.
And in South Korea they have a Child's Day? What's that about?
I have no idea.
Like a Mother's Day and Father's Day, they have a day where you gift kids. That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. That's something we should have implemented in
Well,
this
now I
country
don't want
when I
it.
was a kid.
Yeah, now I would
care.
be strongly
Honestly,
against.
it would veto that. We don't care. But
It's a very American
when I
thing
was
that
a
once
kid-
it doesn't affect you
Yeah,
to not want it for anyone
anymore.
else. But yeah, Child's Day. But when your shitty dad gives you 2 Wii's, what the fuck are you gonna do? 2 Wii's, stack them up. They don't work
Yeah.
twice as good when you have to.
Just 2 Wii bowling games at the same time.
You'd have to have 2 separate TVs. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But yeah, shitty dad.
Yeah, very shitty dad.
He ended up, of course, giving the ultimate sacrifice and finally becoming a good dad.
Which this whole time, let's talk about the quote unquote villain of this movie.
Love him.
How? Oh god,
Love him.
But dude,
A
how
great
many times is he going to throw someone under the bus? Literally.
God, dude, I don't know.
Just throwing people to the zombie.
That's a classic character in zombie films to have like the big businessman,
Yep.
big
Approach.
COO who's just willing to sacrifice anyone. But I thought he did a really fucking good job
yeah, he
of
did.
that character. Because by the end, you fucking hated that guy. He was
Oh, I hated him. I just wanted him to die.
he was he really became a really good quote unquote villain. Really, he was just trying to survive. He became like a rat, doing whatever it took to survive. Yep. But yeah, towards the end, man, you fucking hate this guy.
Well, he sacrificed like
The baseball player girl.
yeah, a
That's
baseball
hard.
player girl, and then the
Not only that, he was telling everyone to shut the door. Remember, he wouldn't let anyone in when they were getting
could have
attacked.
saved all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very selfish.
Well, he ended up
guy.
also killing everyone because remember they got
did,
infected. And then he somehow survived, though. You know, there's in the zombies film, there's always that guy who's, if he's willing to do anything, he'll survive for a long time. If you're willing to throw anyone under the fucking bus. But at what point do you lose all humanity and you don't want to survive anymore?
It's true.
After throwing your 5th victim into the zombie hole, you gotta be like, maybe I'm not doing the right thing.
Maybe I'm not a good
Maybe
person.
I'm not worth. But yeah, that was brutal, dude. But I loved his turn at the end when he finally fucking slowly becomes.
I know, and he's turning. He's like, I'm scared. And the whole time, I'm like,
Yeah,
throw
guy.
this motherfucker off the
How
train.
scared do you think everyone else was
Yeah,
when
when you
you
threw
murdered
them to
9
zombies.
people today? Yeah, but he was, and I love that character was so like unassuming at the start. He's a normal guy like everyone else.
Yep.
It doesn't give it. It's not like super. You didn't know immediately. Like a lot of times you'll be watching a movie and you'll know, okay, that's gonna be the guy. That's gonna be a piece of shit. But you didn't know until.
No, it was a slow escalation.
Yeah, and then but it was very realistic. It feels like. People. It's like fucking people on the Titanic throwing kids out of the way to get on the boat. You don't know how some of these people are going to react in dire situations. And he just reacted like a typical fucking COO. And at some point, I like how they're all yelling. He's like, whoa, I'm a CEO of, and they're like, what the fuck? We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
That has no pull here. If you were in the company right now, maybe that would be something you could bring up.
Right.
But on the train, the conductor is the fucking guy in charge. And what a job that guy had.
Yeah.
These fucking conductors, dude. In
They're not
Korea,
appreciated
Japan,
enough.
they're not. This guy's got a zombie apocalypse happening on his train, and he's still on time to the fucking station. He's like, I got pickups.
Got a job to do. People are depending on me. We got to get them
Crazy.
from point A to point B.
Crazy, dude. But he should never got out of the train.
Yeah.
He tried too much. These fucking conductors are like,
Well, then he tried to save
They're the
villain,
firefighters.
and I'm like, God.
I know.
I'm like, why?
Yeah, why are you like the Superman of conductors? This guy, his job is to make sure everyone gets to point A to point B as safe as possible. And
Well, he paid the ultimate price.
He did. He really did. But yeah, a good conductor nonetheless.
Absolutely.
And shows you how fucking hard it is to drive a train. Because once they try to fucking do it and get on the freight train, no fucking clue.
No one can do it.
No clue.
Nope. Filmmaker Edgar Wright. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
A little Edgar Wright. Might have done a few decent films.
He does my favorite zombie film of all
Shaun of the
time,
Dead,
Shaun of the Dead, yeah.
But he tweeted after watching this movie, he said, best zombie movie I've seen in forever.
Yeah, and Edgar Wright, if you don't know, he is like a Quentin Tarantino-esque like cinema buff. Like he's seen every fucking movie from like since the camera was invented. Like Quentin Tarantino just has an endless, but he is for him to say that, and for him to have made one of the best zombie films of all time.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
It's very high praise.
But yeah, that's awesome.
It was this film was the 6th highest grossing domestic film in all of South Korea.
That's crazy. Well, it blows my mind it's not the highest grossing film of all time.
Well, it was made for $8 million and then turned around to the box office and made almost $100 million. $98.5 million.
Yeah.
That's a crazy turnaround.
That's a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I would say it makes sense that Peninsula, the sequel, is coming out.
Yeah, I wish this is one film that I really wish I had seen in theaters, but I don't know how big of American release it got. I don't remember hearing anything about this movie when it came out. It came out in 2016. I don't remember I saw it probably in like 2018, 2 years after it came out. It took a while, but for me to get to it, but yeah. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
It's great. It's got a beautiful ending. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I love the ending when the dad is having flashbacks of the daughter as like a baby and shit like that when he's right about to, you know.
And it's all white. It's all in white as if it's like the heavenly moment before, like the last thing you want to
you kind of realize it's just kind of his eyes melting. Glazing over.
Yeah.
Him getting cataracts pretty bad.
And the way South Koreans do their horror films, I really thought they were going to turn it. I thought it was going to be like him, you know, like about to fall, and then right before he falls, he goes,
yeah,
and then
and
then it could have just cut,
yeah,
you know, because then that's like the horror element of him turning, and then no matter how human you are, the second you turn, you turn.
Mm-hmm.
But
it could have been, but I think it was like he had one little last piece of humanity left, and then he kind of threw himself off the train, you know, to stop him. But I had a feeling it was going to end like, because the entire film, it's a zombie film, but it's like heavily steeped in drama. Mm-hmm. You know, the family drama with the dad and the daughter, but the drama with the two old ladies, which the one old lady lets everyone in at the end, which fuck yeah, do it, bitch. do what you got to do.
I mean, these people just fucking
murder people.
Horrible,
yeah, I know. If anyone deserves to be zombies, it's these. And you lost your best friend that's probably been your friend since 1912.
Right, it's her sister.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
which is her best friend.
Yeah, who looks 30, but also 60. We don't know. It's hard to read. Zero wrinkles. But so but the drama with the guy, you know, being a expecting father,
right,
and then kind of seeing, I don't want to be a dad like that. I got to kind of be a dad like this. But so there's a lot of drama, and the Koreans do drama very well, but they do it like inside of a horror film where it's, I don't want to say it's like Ari Aster, but Ari Aster does drama very well. Wrapped around a horror film.
They're able to cross genres very
exactly.
well.
It's never one thing, you know. It's but as far as zombie films go, it's one of the best.
Best of the best.
Yeah. I love it. But this is your first time watching it, yeah?
Yes. Train to Busan. This is the first time I've seen it.
I know. Now we got to get our hands on
Peninsula.
Train to Busan Peninsula. Yeah.
Whenever that'll come out.
We reacted to that. Before you.
We did before I even knew what Train to Busan was.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see what that is. I wonder if it has
supposed to be 4 years afterwards.
Do you think it's going to be a completely different story, or do you think the little girl's going to be in it?
It would have to be a completely.
That's
different
what I think
story,
too. Yeah,
right? I mean,
well, it could be the little girl still, 4
4
years older, but I don't know. I mean, she seemed pretty safe at that point.
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked up reviews or anything for it, but
I know it only got middle of the road. Yeah,
not as resounding reviews, and it kind of does look like the little girl's in this.
Oh, does it?
It looks like there's like a teenage girl in it.
Well, if it is, then I hope it's the same actress. I hope it's the same little girl that they used, because she was so fucking good in this.
Yeah, let me see.
But I kind of figured the sequel wasn't going to be as good as... Because I don't think you could make a sequel as good as Train to Busan.
No.
You just
It'd be real hard.
You'd have to do something. Yeah, you'd have to try to do something completely different.
Yeah, no, I don't think they do have the same one.
So it might be a different story.
Yeah. All right. Well, is that all we got for Train to Busan? I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, if you got Amazon Prime, it is on Amazon Prime right now. You can go and watch it for free. It is so fucking worth it. And I think maybe they even have a dubbed version if you don't know how to read. So you even have that. There's no excuse not to watch this.
There is no excuse.
They dubbed in 4 different languages in India. There has to be an English. There has to be an English dub.
Workup of it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our review for Train to Busan. If you guys like what you're seeing here and you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. If you'd like to find our podcast in audio format, you can find that on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Social media pages, Twitter, Seen It Podcast, Cash on Twitter, that's just Cash. Instagram, Have You Seen It? Facebook, Have You Seen It Podcast? And go check out our new merch store. You can find that in the description below. All right. Well, that does it. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.